Some mornings feel heavier than others. You wake up and the world looks the same, but somehow, you're not. I used to believe love could fix anything, that if I smiled, forgave, and held on, everything broken would heal. But some cracks don't close, they just go silent. Now, I live in a quiet corner of Chicago. Small bookstore job, warm coffee, predictable mornings. From the outside, it looks peaceful, but peace and emptiness often look alike. There was a time I had everything. Ryan and I, we were inseparable. He made life feel lighter. He was my laughter, my safety, my home. We married under a sunset sky, surrounded by friends and promises we thought we could keep. But promises don't always break with a bang sometimes. They fade quietly. A little silence here, a few missed smiles there, and suddenly you're beside someone who feels miles away. He'd ask if I was okay now, and I'd say I was just tired. But I wasn't tired, I was drowning in words I couldn't say. We used to walk through the park every Sunday, under the same tree where he proposed. He'd tell stories, hold my hands, and I'd pretend to laugh. But inside, I was already leaving. One night, my friend Nina said, "You don't sound like yourself anymore." And she was right. I didn't even know who that was. I tried to talk to Ryan once, but he smiled and said, "We'll be fine." Maybe he believed that, but I'd stopped believing in fine. He wanted a baby, and I froze. Because how do you bring new life into something that already feels lifeless? So I started writing not letters to him, but to myself, trying to find the version of me I'd lost. One night, I packed a small bag, stood by the door, watched him sleeping, and stayed, because love can still hurt even when it's over. Days turned into weeks. We smiled for the neighbors, pretended we were okay. It was a quiet kind of heartbreak, the kind no one ever sees. Then one afternoon, Nina said, "You can't keep disappearing to make others comfortable." And that night, I knew our silence was the goodbye. A few weeks later, we took a trip, our last attempt to fix what was broken. He smiled, bought me a necklace, said, "I love you," and I realized I hadn't said it back in months. When we got home, I wrote one final letter. It started with, "You are not a bad person. Be brave." That night, I told him the truth, that I wasn't happy, that I needed to find myself again. He didn't yell, he didn't beg, he just looked at me with a sadness that broke me all over again. He helped me pack, carried my suitcase to the door, said, "Take care of yourself." And I said, "You too. No more, no less." I stayed with Nina for a while, cried, slept, wrote. And little by little, I came back to life. Months later, Ryan texted me, "Hope you're doing well. I'm taking a cooking class." I smiled and replied, "I'm writing again." That was enough. Now I live in a small apartment painted yellow. Fresh flowers, warm light, and silence that doesn't hurt anymore. Sometimes, I find that old necklace. I don't cry. I just smile, because not every story needs a villain. Some just need closure. It's not perfect, but it's mine. And finally, that's enough.